I think that's going to become more and more important in the physio space. And I think the internet and social media actually unlock that because people have more access to do research and learn about the people that they want to work with. So gone are the days when it was just about location or it was
Absolutely.
just about like a quick Google search. I still think there's a lot of value in that and being, searchable and whatnot. But a lot more people, yeah, a lot more people have access to learning about the people that they're going to consume from. And I think the in the physio space, the physios that develop their brand and they're out there and people are aware of who they are and what they do, you're going to continue to separate yourself because it's not just going to be that simple control that used to be, right? And you talked a little bit about with the news anchor, and then even at the start with regards to your shoes, you just went to Nike because that's all you really knew. But now you walk into an opportunity where there's a tons of brands on the wall, and now you're like, well, who do I pick? And that's the same thing what happens when people go to look up physios. So there's thousands of options out there, and if everything looks the same, the people that separate themselves and put themselves out there and develop an actual brand and show people who they are, you're now going to be able to connect with those people that are looking for you and they're going to come and find you, versus like just clicking the first thing that comes up on a Google search. And I think you see that already playing out, but I think it's going to continue to become even more and more of a an important thing as the consumer gets more and more control over where they go, instead of being told where to go. And so I think it's only going to get more important.
One of the guys on our podcast, Anthony Meritato, is in Ohio. And on a different episode, maybe a year or two ago, I said, "Hey, what's the most fast?" So he's like, he had started spending more time on YouTube and his content started blowing up. And he's like, I say this with all the respect in the world, Tony, if you're listening, is that um, he's not the guy you would expect to be on YouTube. I say that with respect and all that, right? But it started blowing up. And I remember on one episode that he was on here with us, I said, "Hey, what's been the most surprising thing to you about social media?" And I expected him to say things like generic things like, "Well, I didn't think it was going to blow up." What he actually ended up saying, so I think in his practice, he focuses on like total knee replacement, patients that have had total knee replacement and things like that. He said the most fascinating thing to him was that, some subset of patients would drive 16 hours from places like Texas to come see him because of the trust he had built through all the content that he was on putting on YouTube. And to your point, you mentioned the example of Googling. Like, of course, everybody's going to Google everybody else. So you better be visible. And if you're not, like, if you don't create your own narrative, somebody will create it for you. And it's
Yeah, and
probably
I
not going to
think
be the
even
narrative you
more,
want.
yeah, even more than just being visible is that like when people come to, because everyone's visible for the most part, like most people know to have a website, but like when people click on your website, what is that expressing? And that's brand, and that's like where you need to have a way to communicate who you are, how you're different, how you're going to help this individual, and then have options to build that trust, like you're saying. And the best way to build trust is provide value without any expectation in return. And so when people click on our website and then they stumble across our Instagram or our YouTube channel and they see all this content that's talking about a lot of the things that they're dealing with and showing that we have an expertise in that area, that we're also willing to help. We're showing our personalities and who we are, and we show our space, and our space looks a lot different than most physio clinics do around here. All of those things are speaking to the individual to want to fill out a form to do a discovery call with us, versus clicking on a website that just has a list of like all of the diagnoses that they work with, and where to call, and that they cover insurance, but there's nothing to do with how they interact, what they want, like that the younger generation, as we come up and up, people want to see more and more and want to have a relationship with the people that they're working with. And I think that's only going to continue to become more important as we move through the next 5 to 10 years.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. All right. So I want to be respectful of your time. Obviously, we're going to put links to your social media and everything else. But if people want to get in touch with you, learn more about you, where would you tell them to go?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to check out what we do at the movement, at the MDMTPTs on Instagram is our Instagram account. We put out content there every single day. We have our YouTube channel. the movement, which we've really been working on getting the YouTube channel up. We're on a mission to get 500 subscribers this year. So we're putting out content continuously there as well. So those are two cool areas you can check out just to learn a little bit more about the movement. And then you can follow me on Instagram, dlaino.93. I put a lot of content out there as well. It's kind of merged with a lot of the business stuff that we do, but you can get a little bit of a sense for me and the things that I like to do.
All right, I'm going to ask you one question before I let you go. And I'm going to
Okay.
put you on the spot. And then if you totally hate what you say, we'll just edit it out at the end.
Okay.
Knowing what you know today, and don't tell me anything that you don't want public, right? But just as a high level question, obviously you've become an expert. It's obvious, right? So, no, if you had to start over today, start your practice over today, knowing what you know today, how much faster do you think you would have been able to get to where you are in terms of like success financially and otherwise? Like, is it twice as fast? Is it 10 times as fast? Is it not as fast? Like, what do you think? So I know it's a weird question, right? But however many years it took you to get to where you are now, if you had to start over now with nothing, but everything you know today, how fast do you think you get back to where you are today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, our business is 5 years old. I've been doing content for 7 years, like through the movement. Um, I would say that I think I could probably we could probably get there a little bit faster, maybe a couple years. But if I was to start over, the only advantage I would have is I just know the little kind of learning lessons that take time. So like how to develop content, how to like edit, how to write copy, how to go out and communicate with different people. Like I learned how to develop those skills over the last 5 years that now I know. But I would say the approach I would go exactly the same because I think that it's still relevant because it's only been 5 years since I launched the business. But I would take the same blueprint, but I would just have learned all the little nuances of how to just like connect and waste less time on creating the content because I've gone through the process of how to create it. But to be honest, I don't think I would change it outside of I would have started YouTube 5 years ago versus focusing on YouTube about for the last 2 years. That would be the only different strategy I think that I would take. I think long form content is becoming it's been really popular, but it's becoming way more popular. I don't think physio does long form content well. I think there's a lot of opportunity to have success in that. So if there's anyone out there looking to take advantage of an opportunity, I think people who can do long form video really, really well and kind of show the essence of what they do and their brand and how they interact with people. I really think that's the move. And what I've always liked about the healthcare space, which I think is an advantage, is that we're very much behind a lot of other businesses and brands that are utilizing these things. So you can actually go and learn from these other brands that are already doing it, having success. And because healthcare, and I think specifically physio, is a bit far behind in implementing that, you can actually just go and implement that and have great success by modeling some of the other brands and businesses that are having success using the same kind of tactics. So yeah, that's my last little 2 cents on that.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.